Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Thanks for your tweets. Craig is here. First show this week. What was that noise? Shaka as well. Jan, what are you doing? What was that banging?
I was banging my notes.
He's banging his nose.
Wow. Goodness me.
No, but to be fair, boys, I'm so surprised. Craig looks so in good mood today. I mean, that changed. I was so prepared for Craig being moody, and he's like a lovely. He looks like John Travolta.
It's the
like
new me, Jan. It's the new me. 2 days a week.
He's doing 2 days a week at the moment, Jan.
2 days a week. I'm going to be really annoyed when the schedule comes out on Thursday. If there's any more than 2 on there next week.
It's gonna be,
I hope my boss is watching. Any more than 2 next week, and I'm going.
Shaka, are you doing just 2 days a week as well?
I'm here a little bit more.
Jan, where are you? You haven't got the normal shirts behind you.
No, I am in a training camp now before the Bundesliga, so I had to go somewhere to study for the big Germany Bundesliga. So I went to Italy.
Oh,
Sardinia,
lovely.
I am.
Oh, which part of Italy are you in?
Sardinia.
What is it with Norwegians in Sardinia?
What?
Did you see Karsten Warholm, boys? You haven't congratulated with 400-meter hurdles.
We've got a tweet about that later on, Jan. Don't worry. What do you mean congratulate you? You didn't run it.
Well, I'm a Norwegian. We are only 5 millions.
When's this Olympics finishing?
I don't know. Soon, I imagine. What?
I'm not just saying this. I'm not just saying this, but and it's each to their own. I have not seen 1 millisecond of the Olympics.
Right.
Can't wait till it finishes.
But if you haven't seen it, why does it bother you?
Well, because people are talking about it.
Who? Yeah.
You just mentioned it.
What people?
Yeah.
I bumped into Frode, you. A minute ago, you said you got a tweet.
We started off this extra time with Jan complimenting you.
Now you're angry about the
I bumped
Olympics.
into him next Sunday to finish.
I've not watched a millisecond and I can't wait for it to be over.
I can't. Oh, he's pulling out, she's pulling out, they're not well, he's not well.
Who did you bump into?
Oh, Frode Grodas in Sardinia. Many years
How did you speak to Frode?
Yes, Norwegians. The place is full of them.
Did you speak?
Yeah, we went for dinner. We were at a place called the Forty Village, and it was we went for dinner.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
I've been there many times, Craig.
Yeah.
Listen to
I don't have
me
time.
and Henning.
I don't have time to do these kind of things, Jan, because my schedule is too busy at the moment.
Yeah.
Forte Village is the place that the generation of players like Craig and myself, and Shaka, we always went there. And I remember once I went there with Henning Berg from Manchester United, and I realized if they made a 16-man squad of the people at the place, we wouldn't get into the squad. So this is Forte Village.
And you just keep going back now, Jan?
No, you're not there now.
No, I'm not there now. I'm not there now.
No.
Listen, I'll do the rest of the week for you.
No, you won't. Shaka, with Frank and Jules messing up on Extra Time yesterday, they didn't know what they were doing after returning from vacation.
Hold on. They ever know what they're doing?
No, that's a fair point, especially
Ever?
Frank. Should Shaka coach each team member on the art of returning to work from vacation as Shaka takes so many holidays?
Where's this come from?
We don't have any holidays.
I haven't been on holiday forever.
Craig's taking your quota.
He don't even need holidays. He's just coming 2 days a week.
I'm just on a reduced days schedule. This is karma for all the time you've had off over the years. Yeah. That's what it is. They're going to rack it up. You're going to be working 7 days a week for about the next 5 years.
That has been grossly exaggerated. I have a couple of days off here and there.
Yeah, we know, Shaq. Jan, with the likes of Modric, Bale and now Kane skipping Tottenham training, does the lack of ambition at the club lead to its best players leaving?
Yes, it does, because these best players they meet up with the national team players, and there are players from like in Germany, Bayern Munich, or in England, they will Manchester City and the Liverpools of this world, and they are asking, how much do you earn? No, they don't talk about that. Well, they talk about that as well, but more like titles, because a lot of these players, they earn so much money anyway. So it's all about titles, it's all about the prestige, it's all about this. And if you see Tottenham, and I got so many friends who are frustrated Tottenham fans, and there is no light in sight. I can't see them winning any trophy the next couple of years anyway. And Harry Kane, Modric and Bale, they had to leave the club to win trophies. Is that sad? Maybe so. Is it fact? Absolutely.
You're taking a holiday anyway, aren't you?
September.
I'm
September
in
is my
training
holiday.
camp.
No, you're taking one next week.
Next week's not holiday, that's
You're going
work.
to Spain?
Yeah, but that's work, isn't it?
And who's all going on the trip?
Me and Ali are going from here.
And who's going
And
from
some
over-
bosses are going.
Hold on, when I travel for work,
Some of our
I
bosses
get
are
accused
going.
of all sorts.
Tell you what, sounds like
I
a
travel
great-
for work,
This
and
sounds
everybody
like a great
says I'm
trip.
on holiday.
Can I be on that trip? It sounds like a great trip.
No,
you and Moreno.
You're not going on the trip.
That's going to be exciting. And then bosses.
Shouldn't Kane's agent be fired, Shaq? What did they think is going to happen? There are only 8 teams that can even potentially afford £100 million pre-pandemic. He had to know Spurs were never going to really compete with big teams, hoping to win their FA or Carabao Cup. Why sign the deal?
Yeah, I think it's a failure of the agent to insert a get-out clause, without question.
Right.
And as much as I'm defending Harry Kane and saying I believe that there was a gentleman's agreement, I think as an agent, unless Harry Kane comes to you and says, no, don't negotiate for that, as an agent, you have a responsibility to have something in there.
You know who his agent is?
No, I don't, Dan.
His brother.
Well, then he needs to fire his brother.
Jan, if Chelsea get Lukaku, City get Kane, and Real Madrid get Mbappe, who is most likely to capture Haaland next season?
Well, that is first of all, it's a big question, but it's very hard to say, because if you see 1 year back, we would say that this summer the pandemic and everything should be sorted out and there should be fans back at the stadiums. And now the clubs are losing so much money, as are Dortmund. And I think you have to respect Dortmund, that they will try to keep on to Erling Haaland, although they could get double the money this summer. So who will be the coach of Real Madrid next summer? Will Barcelona sort out their financial problems? What's happening in Manchester City? And so on and so on. So that is impossible to say. And even Bayern Munich, I think they have a chance next summer if they let Lewandowski go, and then they can get Erling Haaland in as a replacement. Having said that, Team Haaland and Erling Haaland will have the final word next summer. This summer, Dortmund will have the last word.
Spain, eh?
Spain. What?
You.
Why'd you keep bringing it up? You're jealous. You want to come as well. That's why you keep bringing it up.
I don't want to come.
Well,
Spain. You try to have beers. Ali Moreno on Shirley Temples.
Why are you bringing it?
Bosses hanging
It's
about.
not bothered though, Shaq.
No, I'm
not bothered. I don't know why you're bringing it up.
This is a continuation. I'm not watching a second of the Olympics.
Well, no,
but I can't wait for it to be over.
Craig smiles.
I don't want to go to Spain.
I think you know that even if I was told I had to go, I think you know I can't go anyway because of my situation.
Yes, but I don't know why you keep bringing it up.
No, but I'm intrigued by the
dynamic.
The dynamic
Oh, there you are.
of you trying to have you trying to have some fun and the Shirley Temple no drinker and the bosses hanging around.
Well, I'm sure I'll be able to.
Sounds like a great trip.
I'm sure I'll be able to find someone to play with.
And it's in Barcelona.
Yes,
and it's not Madrid. It's not Madrid where you ducked and dived for 5 years, so you can't go back to the old haunts.
Hey, that's all right.
Dan ducked and dived.
Sounds like a great trip, doesn't it, Jack?
I'm staying out
Not do you? I'll be off. You're working.
Yeah.
Right, a lot of big players are
You know
just
who's doing the
returning.
schedule for next
A
week?
lot of big players, Jan, are just returning for pre-season.
Bosses,
Is that really enough time for teams to be ready to start the Premier League?
No, it's not. But the good thing about it is that the big clubs, they more or less have the same amount of players being in that situation. So that is a part of things. I think the bigger discussion is that the number of games a lot of these players have had, that makes them more vulnerable for injuries and so on. I think just an example of my head, you saw Bruno Fernandes at the Euros. He looked very, very tired. You can see example of that on injuries and so on. But no, I don't think it's unfair. That is all over the line. All the clubs have their players, and you will see some of them. And you've seen some in Germany now with Bayern Munich, of course. 4 games now they've had in the preseason with Nagelsmann. They lost 3 of them. They lost 3-0 to Napoli at home.
Oh dear.
So it is a crisis before the season.
People got it. Oh. Viva la España. Oh, no, sorry. People have got to get over this fairness thing. Shaq, you wouldn't want to be on that trip, would you? Jesus Christ.
Jan, why is
listen, people have to get over this fairness thing. Is it fair, as Jan said? It's part and parcel of being a footballer. Big tournaments, less rest, injuries happens. It's like, they're playing on Wednesday, we're playing on Tuesday. That's not fair.
Right.
Jesus Christ, everybody can't play on the same day. People have to get over this fairness issue all the time, as if people are out there. Anyway.
Jan, why is Ødegaard still sticking with Madrid? Surely he can develop.
Spain again.
Surely he can develop greatly
Bosses,
if he leaves
Spain.
and becomes a crucial first-team player elsewhere.
I'm going to be honest.
Well, Dan, can't you ask him when you're going to the holiday in Spain?
Right, yes, I'll ask him, fear not.
I think this is a split thing for Martin Ødegaard. He wants to play football. At time, he was very good at Arsenal and they wanted to have him. But then he was ordered back to Real Madrid, who have a terrible image of taking care of young players. They have to get more through. They had Jovic, they have Ødegaard, they have to get some of them through. And now you see criticism just after one game where they played up in Scotland, Real Madrid. So we'll see what's happening with Martin Ødegaard. Hopefully we'll get some good games under his belt now for Real Madrid and try to establish himself. If not, they should sell him.
That was when Kay Murray, your, how shall I put this?
So that my colleague,
stand-in host.
Right.
What does that make Sebi?
Sebi's forgotten. He's got Football Americas.
Oh my God, why wouldn't you? That's when Kay Murray was co-host, standing. I don't know.
Right, well, where are you
You
going?
were off again.
Where are you going with this?
She slandered Scottish football.
Right.
She said, can't remember who else was on, but she said, Real Madrid have lost to Rangers. What's happening? I said,
right.
Scottish champions, about to be in Shaka's power rankings at number 1.
Right.
Is it a big surprise that Real Madrid lose to the best team in Scotland?
No, they're at different stages of pre-season, aren't they? Real Madrid.
Well, I tried to explain that to Kay, but unfortunately she had already completely slandered Scottish football.
Right. Well, you slander Scottish football every day.
I don't talk about it.
When you do talk about it, you slander
We
it.
don't cover it on here.
I should have never given Craig that compliment.
I know, that's
he
it.
turned around.
I know, he
Dr.
has.
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Right, yeah.
Well, I think it's the days. My boss is watching this, Shaka, and he's going to say, do you know what? Getting Craig on 2 days a week makes him so happy. That's the way forward.
Yeah. Maybe we could, yeah, and you've been on both sides of the microphone, if you like. The most.
What do you mean?
So he interviews people, doesn't he? And of course, he was interviewed
Is
as
that
a
how you
player.
interview people?
Yes.
We've got a microphone on. We've been on both sides.
No, but when you interview someone, you do it with one microphone tradition.
Well, I can hold this up.
Well, then you look like a silly boy. Right, the most awkward interview you've had with a journalist, Jan, or indeed the most awkward interview you've had with a player or manager?
Most awkward thing was manager was Pep Guardiola when they lost 1-0 in the Champions League against Tottenham. I asked him the same question 4 times because I didn't want to give up. I said, what do you do to keep your players going? No, he just said one word. He said, sleeping. And I said, except sleeping, what do you do? Eating. And I said, except sleeping and eating. And he said, sleeping, eating, and drinking. And I said, except sleeping, eating, and drinking. And when I was finished with that interview, he went out. And the head of communication of Manchester City came back to me and said, Jan, what was that all about? And I explained to him that he didn't answer my question, but it was quite awkward. It took me some time to do that again. But I felt good afterwards because sometimes the manager wants you to feel awkward. And like you said, I've been on the other side and I've sometimes been a muppet myself in interviews. And when I was young, I did some bad interviews. So I think that was the most awkward one, absolutely.
Some of the most awkward interviews over the years have been involving Gordon Strachan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who has,
yes. Yeah.
Wee Gordon has changed somewhat from the old days when, I don't always agree with it, the way he did it, but they were...
You must have been quite nice to interview when you were a player.
I was fine.
Yeah, I bet you were not like now.
I used to say to whenever I was doing a radio interview or that, because particularly at Celtic we got daily requests. At Chelsea it was more a weekly request, but because it was so frantic in Scotland, the requests for players were daily. But I used to say to the radio boys or the TV, they used to say, because some people are a bit awkward and they say, oh, I'm going to ask you. I say, don't tell me what you're going to ask me, I don't care. Yeah. Ask me what you like. Right, if I don't like it, I'll find a way around it. Whereas some people are not as comfortable and they want to know what they've been asked. I never had that problem, so
well
I just
done. Congratulations.
said to the boys, ask me what you want. So
right, good.
Have another day off.
What about you, Shay?
Can you do it Thursday? Because I'm in Thursday.
Did you have any awkward interviews? Don't engage. Did you have any awkward interviews?
Me? No, never.
No, it's all right.
Nope.
Craig, you're on that show when I interviewed Pele. That was awkward.
That was good.
Yeah, well, it was the whole thing was getting him on anyway.
Yeah, that was silly.
That was awkward. I'll tell you what was awkward when we interviewed. You were off. It was Aid. Me and
David Ginola.
grilling David Ginola about his run for FIFA president. When we
I was late for that.
when we absolutely wiped the floor with him, and then he stormed off.
Yeah, I remember that.
And but he was just telling porky pies, so he wasn't coming on this show with his BS about running for FIFA president when it was all some big marketing scam, so no.
Final question, Jan, the one you've been waiting for. Your friend,
Yes.
Karsten Warholm, was simply outstanding in the 400-metre hurdles at the
Jan's
Olympics
not got
today,
friends.
shattering the world record and winning the gold. How are you feeling since you mentioned earlier that you were eagerly awaiting this event? Did you get to talk to him?
Well, boys, we are on another time schedule. So he was having his run this morning at 5:20.
That's
and
why you look
I had my wake up call 5:10, but my body woke up from itself 5:04. So I was ready for his run. 400-meter hurdles, 45.94. He broke his own world record, 7600 of a second. It was an unbelievable thing. It's the biggest thing that happened to Norway since Roald Amundsen explored the South Pole like 110 years ago. It is a fantastic day for us.
Who's bigger, him or Erling Haaland?
At the moment, it's Karsten Warholm because he's Olympic winner and he's won the World Championship twice. He broke the world record twice. Remember 400-meter hurdles back in the Edwin Moses, Kevin Young days. There haven't been a lot of world records, so this is an amazing effort from the young Norwegian.
Ed Moses, you remember him?
Yes.
Even you remember him. Wow.
I was 400 flat though. That wasn't hurdles.
What?
No, Ed did run hurdles. Never mind.
Edwin Moses was 400-meter hurdles.
Yeah, I forgot.
Shaka.
Never mind.
You're talking to...
We had Sally Gunnell, she did the hurdles, didn't she?
I've met Ed Moses.
No, I've been serious. I used to love watching the Olympics, particularly the track and
Yeah.
field, but for some reason in the last... just don't get into it. Do you get into it?
Yeah, I was watching Elaine Thompson this morning.
Who the hell's that?
200-meter winner.
Who's the favourite for the 100 metres now?
They've already had it, the Italian one.
Italian?
Yes.
Nobody watching men.
Seriously?
Yes.
I didn't watch him
Yeah,
men.
yeah.
What did he run it in?
Jamaican women won 1, 2, 3.
979 did he do?
979?
It was a great time, great time.
Yeah, it was-
Holy
Yeah.
smokes, was the wind behind?
No.
Wow.
There you go.
Is that the world record now? I don't know.
No. 963, I
No.
think it is. Usain
Now
Bolt.
9:58.
Are you saying Bolt?
9:63.
Was he playing for Dortmund at the time?
Right, that's it.
When's the Olympics finished? Next
Craig's
Sunday.
off tomorrow. What a shame for us all.
You're going to Spain anyway with bosses. Round nosing.
Oh, sir, please.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.